What's up everybody, we're back with another video. Now in today's video, I'm gonna go ahead and show you the new aquarium that we have. But this isn't any old aquarium. So before we get into today's video, please go ahead, leave a like, subscribe, ding that notification bell, and go ahead and follow me on Instagram where you guys can get daily updates on what goes on in the fish room. Without further ado, let's get on to today's video. So as you can see behind me, we have a new aquarium. This aquarium is 900 millimeters wide, 900 millimeters deep, and 780 millimeters tall. So it's about 36 by 36 by 30 inches. Roughly, I think 90 centimeters is not exactly 36 inches, but it's near enough. So this will hold about 600 liters of water. And I'm not doing a guide on how to build an aquarium because it's the first aquarium. Well, actually, that is a thing. So what's so special about this aquarium? It's not just like the dimensions, it's the fact that I built this with the help of my mother from scratch. That's the tank, the bracing, the stand, and well, when the filtration gets put into place, we'll have done that as well. The reason was I found some pieces of glass that were quite cheap. 4 of them, 4 panels were for £60. We had to get the final panel cut properly, which is another £100. So it came to £160 for this tank. For reference, this holds nearly the same volume of water as a 7-foot aquarium where the arowana is. But the difference is that obviously this is slightly taller, definitely deeper, but obviously just not as long. So that one cost me about £500, this cost me £160, you know, it worked out quite nicely. I don't know how much the stand cost because I'd have to take into consideration the tools I had to buy to build the stand, but that was just a learning process anyways. So let's quickly talk about the stand before we get into the aquarium and what we're going to do with it. So the stand is slightly wider, as you can see, than the aquarium, but we just had to factor in because I didn't know how wide I was going to go with the bracing on the bottom, and it looks pretty alright. So we have about 11 support braces in place throughout the aquarium, and each one, it's made out of 2x4, so each bracing is roughly 800, it can take 800 pounds, which is 360 kilos. So, you know, times that by 11, this thing can take about, 4 tons of weight. For reference, I don't know if you can see it, there's my car outside. It can basically take 2 of my cars worth of weight, which is quite a lot of weight given the fact this is made out of wood. And obviously when this is full, this is 600 kilos plus the glass, which is about 20 kilos each, so you're talking about 720 kilos of weight. So this is plenty of strength. I just got very nervous, which is why I added in these side struts. I wasn't going to. I think also what the issue was this was rocking a bit, and I didn't want this to obviously shear and affect how the weighting was going to be impacting the bracing. Sorry, not the bracing, the supports. So I did that to reinforce it, and now it's very sturdy, which is nice. Yeah, so I went ahead and built this. I'm going to show you guys some pictures, obviously, of how I built this. Because I didn't really record any of this. Like I said, I was very worried that this wasn't going to go right. And yeah, I mean, like, we've done the water testing, we filled it all the way up. It held water for about 5 days. Now I drained it down, we pushed it into the corner where it's going to sit from now onwards. And what we're going to do today is we're going to pretty much scape it a bit to make it look a bit nicer. So we've got some sand down there behind the gravel. We've got the gravel, which I've rinsed, which I washed it like 6 or 7 times and it's still dirty, but it's not going to be the main component. And we've got like the heater, we got some decoration, we got some stones, and this is some Valacineri that I took out of the aquarium upstairs, and this is really, really long. So this is going to look wicked in this aquarium. And what I'm hoping to do is basically make the corner for the Valacineri to kind of sit there, and hopefully it'll start to like send runners, and then it'll build up over time, kind of like how it has done. What's happened is it's snowball affected my upstairs aquarium where I had like very few. It took nearly 6 months for it to start to run, and as soon as it started to run, it slowly built up, and I went away for 4 days, and I came back and we have like 3 new runners that are nearly fully grown. So what the heck, right? There is a bit of water and I couldn't take all of it out. It was, I don't have a pump for that. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start filling this stuff up, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. I mean, it's not gonna look amazing. I'm not a professional scaper, but I just wanted to make it look a bit better than the aquariums that we had inside that were a bit bare and look kind of crap. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so it's pretty much been a couple of hours since I finished everything. As you can see, we filled all the sand up. There is some crap in here, and that is because I went ahead and I filled up the FX4. You can see the little tube up there. I'll get into that in a second. But what we did was we did a rock pile, kind of creating a little corner cove, filled it up with gravel, and then planted the valve. And I'm astounded by how nice the valve looks. The thing is really murky. I didn't wash the sand before I put it in, and that was because of time constraints. I was running late. I had some other plans I wanted to go ahead and go for, so I need to just whack all this in. And then I decided, because I was gonna have this rock up, kind of like stacked there, I was worried it was gonna fall. I couldn't really fill up the gravel any higher, so I decided, let me just make a small little cove here. Again, fill it up with gravel, and then do the same thing. So there's now one single stem, so this is one plant, and I think these are, yeah, 2 plants here. And it's amazing to think that these came from the aquarium upstairs in my room, because, you know, they just don't look as big in that aquarium just because there's a lack of height. But even so, even with that height, you know, you're still getting these things like trailing over. Like that, you know, it's amazing that these things are over 3 feet tall. So here is the FX4 kind of set up. I set it up this morning. It's probably 1 o'clock, half 1 at the moment. So I'm just gonna let this run through, and hopefully within the next 24 hours this will clear up, and I'll show you what the final product looks like. Okay, so now the water's pretty much cleared up. There is a bit of cloudiness to it, but you can't really see it all that well, which is quite nice. But yeah, this is what the aquarium looks like. There is a massive hole in the sand, and that's just because of the output flow directing all the an FX4, so it is quite a lot of flow coming through, which is why the sand will be moved. I just need to then adjust the flow and try and get it more on the surface so that there's more surface agitation. But yeah, that is that gone and done, and what I'm thinking of doing now is cleaning all of this garbage that came out of the filter, which the filter hasn't picked up again, thank you very much, and then putting in some fish. So yeah, that will be part 2 of this video, so please stay tuned for that. And I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. I hope you guys are keeping safe. And as always, peace out.